Welcome to Cast of Wonders, the fiction audio magazine for young adults featuring stories of the fantastic. I'm Graham Dunlop. Today we present part 2 of Alienation by Catherine Sparrow. If you didn't catch part 1, please go back and listen to episode 8. You'll be missing out if you don't. We gave Catherine's bio last episode, so check the notes for episode 8 if you want to know more. Or hop on over to Catherine's wonderful website at catherinesparrow.net. That's Catherine with a K. And now, we've a tale to tell. Alienation by Catherine Sparrow. Part 2. The sun moved toward the edge of our vision. Temperatures cooled and mosquitoes bit us. Alcohol slipped past our blood-brain barrier, killed brain cells, and released endorphins. The effect felt like being washed in oil, shiny with possibility. Z asked us, "But what are you assessing? For real, so you going to save us?" "We are assessing humans." "How could we save self from self?" Like we have all kinds of war and problems. If someone could just fix it, or fix us. My moms always say we'll have to evolve, or aliens will have to fix everything. I always tell them we're doomed. We are not here to save. We do not practice charity. We search for solidarity potential. So, you're testing us to see if we're good enough to be your friends? Yes, but we do not test. We experience. That is all. So, what all are you going to experience while you're here? We will live. With you. Tell me the fate of humans isn't going to depend on me. Z drank more beer. The fate of humans isn't going to depend on me. That's not funny. We think it's funny. You can sleep in the meditation room, okay? I've got to bail. This is too much for me right now. Z stood up and went inside and upstairs. We sensed her neural net moving from alpha to theta waves. We sensed rapid eye movement and wished we could flash into her dreams. We considered experiencing sleep, but decided to explore our reproductive urges. Oh, swollen, smushed, myotonia and vasocongestion. There were many pleasurable modalities, some of them reproductive. Moan, giggle, crash, oh, the stars and the universe, oh, that, yes, stop, don't stop. Toward morning, Jasma began to simulate pregnancy and replicated cells in her uterus. Z came downstairs in pajamas. You three got busy last night. She punched me in the arm. Geez, that's the real reason you came to Earth, huh? Ha 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 ha. Over a breakfast of chicken over and bread, we sat around the kitchen table and watched Jasma's waist grow. I noticed a desire to care for her spring up in my glial cells. I also felt sore in my joints, shriveled in my loins, and dehydrated from mouth to urethra. So many competing sensations. Jasma ran outside and vomited off the porch, then came back with a sour look. I will get mauled by bears. I will carry a simulated fetus in my uterus. Let Jasma do it. She will be the experience vessel. I flashed her a reminder that we were all one. She kicked me with her foot. Ha 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 ha. But Jasma did not laugh. I was just about to inform her that physical abuse leads to talconiness, but she flashed us her physical experience. Increased blood pressure in every vein, queasiness and dizziness, increased sense of smell, and a mess of hormones. I kicked Jigsaw in sympathy. The first trimester is the hardest, Z said. Momo is a midwife, so I've seen this a lot. You're not really pregnant, are you? Z asked. No, Jigsaw explained. We are not really human. Jasma groaned. You want to go somewhere today? Z asked. I mean, as long as you've come all this way. If you want to go someplace, yes. Can you travel fast? Can we go anywhere? Yes, like you, we have feet. Ah, darn, I wanted to go to China, but we can go out to get ice cream. That'll help, Jasma. You'll like it. Groan. We got into Z's car and it moved us along roads. We rolled down windows and let the wind flow pleasantly over our hair and skin. At the store there were magazines with pictures of humans and a man who scooped ice cream balls into cones for us. We watched him for violent tendencies. Human males are more violent than females. But he talked about the weather and gave Z an extra scoop for being extra sweet, even though her blood glucose levels were normal. No one got mauled. At a picnic bench outside, we crossed our legs and stared up at the blue sky. We licked our ice cream to keep it from dripping onto other body parts. The sweet, fat, and cold of it invaded my mouth in bursts of flavor. It kept me wanting more and more. Except for Jasma's discomfort, we enjoyed this part of the human lifespan. My body hummed with all the organs that worked with synchronicity and grace. This is my last summer here, said Z. I'm going to UMich in the fall. I keep feeling like I'll miss it here and it should all be precious, but at the same time I'm bored. Ambivalence is often a true recording of experience. Yeah, I guess so. I feel stuck. Jigsaw and I pondered the mystery of her words, while Jasma grew more self-obsessed with her expanding uterus. It's kicking, she said. Maybe we should go back to my house. On the car ride home, fields of wheat moved like expanding gas bubbles in the wind. Hair grew on Jasma's upper lip, and melasma stains covered her cheeks. I'm never going to have kids, Z said. No, thank you. Me neither, I said. Ha 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 ha. At Z's house, we sat on the couch and watched Jasma pace with her hands over her huge belly. Jigsaw read a book called Our Bodies, Ourselves. So, Z, I said, how has being human been for you so far? How was puberty? Her shoulders rose up to her ears and then lowered. That's like asking water what wet is like. We chuckled quietly under Jasma's glare. Z's eyes searched the ceiling. They did that when she was thinking. I mean, some things have been hard, but I'm glad to be alive. Some amazing things have happened so far. Like what? Like falling in love? Like reading good books? Like imagining all the things I'm going to do in the future? Imagining. Will you explain? Like, what do you want to be doing in 5 years? I will be traveling toward another planet to assess. Fallopian tubes? Fantastic, Jigsaw murmured. Maybe you will be, but maybe you'll discover a giant sentient cloud who talks to you. No, I will be traveling toward an assignment. Any other possibility is statistically insignificant. Well, sure, but that's imagination and it's fun. It doesn't have to be realistic. Mine never is. Our kind have expectation, but not imagination, I think. Though we were trembling with excitement before we came to Earth, we also knew the likely outcome. Yeah, you were trembling with excitement because humans are so cool, huh? No, 98.5 degrees. Placenta previa. Fantastic, Jigsaw said. Jasma screamed. Her sari darkened with amniotic fluid. Her belly convulsed. Her cervix dilated. I don't really know what to do, Z said. She ran to Jasma and held her hand. Jasma groaned and sat on the ground. Sweat emerged from her skin as muscles tensed. Please do not flash me, I thought, as another contraction rocked her body. Enough! Jasma yelled, and her belly diminished. The protein package in her uterus shrunk and redistributed across her body. It would have been better for us to assess the full birth process, but no one wanted to tell Jasma that. Unpleasant and bloody mammals, she said. Jasma's scrickliness abated. We enjoyed ages 30 to 50. Z fed us rubbery tofu dogs and sour lemonade. We sat on the porch underneath the yellow sun, and it was good. So, what do you guys think it's all about? Z asked. Life, I mean. Maybe you know the actual answer. It can't all be meaningless, can it? Ah, I said. This is the universal question asked on every planet. Darn, Z said. I guess that means there's no answer. Many theories, no answer. When the sky grew dark, we practiced sleeping in the meditation room. Our human brains dreamed, and we recorded the strange bursts of stories, picture, and texture that flowed through our minds. By morning, I had diabetes, Jigsaw cancerous lesions on his prostate, and Jasma felt generalized anxiety. We are no longer developing. We are well into atrophy. We are moving toward death, I said. We sensed this truth on a cellular level and did not like it. I missed my pancreatic function, joint elasticity, and youthful skin. What I longed for would never be again. Death fear grew in us, as real as our worn ventricles and tired synapses. We were unable to feel anything but dread toward what was to come. Old age was worse than infancy or puberty. Whoa, you guys look worked, Z said. How old are you now? We followed her into the kitchen. 67. Aging is fearful and disturbing. The mind fights against this natural degeneration. Why? Because no one wants to die? duh. Z put cereal, berries, bowls, and milk on the table. Why fight against your own nature? Why struggle? Because we like being alive. Z rolled her eyes and popped blueberries into her mouth. I cannot stop thinking about this degeneration, Jasmine said. It is an unpleasant movie repeating in my mind over and over. My back hurts. There is a sore in my stomach lining. I keep clenching my jaw. Why all this pain? You're all being kind of dramatic, aren't you? You die too, right? We are not born. We bud. We become from what was and evolve into what will be. Z looked confused. Your cells replace themselves fully every 7 years, yes, Z? Yeah, at least that's what they tell us in biology. For us, such cell replacement is slower and complete. We are always dying and always being born, I explained. Death is not an event, but a slow becoming. As we live, parts die while other parts grow. But a part of you stays the same, right? No. Don't you hate that? No. Weird, Z said. She poured us coffee, then added 3 spoonfuls of sugars to hers. As I could no longer tolerate sweets, I looked at it with pupil dilation and salivary response. Z stuck her tongue out at me and giggled. Ha 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 ha. But melancholy emoted from my brain. Someday, I thought, Z will be old and remember what was. Or she will die young. My heart, once a great constricting machine, chuffed feebly. Cells died, organs shrank, my hair grew brittle and sparse. We accelerated our aging, miserable in this human phase, yet knowing more degeneration was yet to come before it was over. I am beginning to understand their love of stories, Jasmine said at lunchtime. Her hair was cloud white. Distractions from the body are necessary. It all ends. How strange and awful. Pain degrades the ability to laugh, I said. Unpleasantness ensues. By mid-afternoon, we were elderly. Light-boned, half-blind, and frail. We ached and groaned as we lay on the mats in the meditation room. This is getting weirder, Z said as she brought us juice and more blankets. Are you guys okay? These bodies weigh heavily upon us, Jasmine said, with quivering vocal cords wrecked by age. They are so busy at first and then become slow. What are your bodies like? Z asked. As we lay trapped in flesh, the truth of it came like one of their dreams. We are like cardboard boxes. Like barnacles, like all the sky and earth together at once. Glorious. Different bodies create different realities. We do not have pain. I hate pain. It is always coming toward you humans. How hard that must be. I fell back on the mat, exhausted from the effort of speaking. Z gripped my hand with her wonderful skin. Nah, it's just normal. For us, I mean. You're not really all old, are you? This is just like the fake baby, right? Her caring was better than the warmth from the blanket covering my diminished torso. Right, I whispered. When we die, we will go back to our ship and become us, not you. As soon as Jasmine said that, I wished I could turn back time and stop her words. But we are all in a slow time machine moving forward, are we not? Us, not you, Jigsaw repeated. I said nothing, though I knew that assessment was correct. I did not want it to be true. That is my nature. When you go back, we can do the solidarity thing, right? Z asked. No. There is more pain than pleasure, Jasmine said. More struggle than peace. Your bodies are too difficult, Z. Humans are too dangerous to practice solidarity with, I said. My heart ached with age and sadness. What? Are you guys just talking biology? Jeez, we're so much more than that. I'm sorry, Z. These bodies hold Talconian misery. I'm more than my body parts. Yes, but you live in a body, a miserable body. Our assessment is biology-based to avoid bias. So what? Are you going to bomb us or something? Earth will be marked. Earth will be left alone. But we need help, Z said. And I like you. I thought we were friends. Jasmine's aortic valve spasmed and collapsed with a surge of emotion. Her stopped heart halted blood flow, and life faded away. Last of all, her brain died. Jasmine analyzed the experience until she was gone. I told you I always mess things up, Z said. Don't leave us alone. Don't make it my fault. Her eyes shed saline droplets and her lower lip shook. More pain. How could she avoid it? She was human. A blood clot formed in Jigsaw's veins and moved sluggishly into his brain. Massive cerebral hemorrhaging ensued. He died. It is a wonderful planet with much animal diversity, Z. Be content to practice solidarity with them. Be content as much as your body allows. You did nothing wrong. It's just these awful bodies, I said. My blood glucose levels rose to toxicity. I slipped into a coma and died. Back on our ship, we let a moment of silence grow among us to mark what might have been, but would never be. And so ends Alienation. We hope you enjoyed this story. Please visit the forums to tell us what you think. Cast of Wonders is released under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives license. So you can share this story with as many people as you like, but you aren't allowed to change it or sell it. Music from musicalley.com. Join us next time for Mrs. Jai by Wendy Bradley.